My name is Jim Lowe. I'm Mike's father. And first and foremost, I'd just like to say thank you for coming tonight. I was talking to Mike Vaughn this morning and talking about the great sunset or sunrise that I saw. I woke up at 6:12 and I thought, should I get up? And I said, what the heck, I'll get up. It was just getting light. And I was fortunate enough to see a fantastic sunrise, and it was beautiful. And I got kind of overwhelmed at the moment, and I said, you know, I'm a real lucky person to be here and to have met new friends on the Vaughn side family tonight, and all of their family and friends. And also I got to meet my friends again that came down here, and also Mike's friends. So I just want to thank you for taking the effort, for taking the time. I know sometimes it's difficult to break away, but like I said last night, and I just want to reinforce what I said last night at the rehearsal dinner, that your presence, I'll say it again and again, I'll say it twice or a million times, tonight and your presence being here makes today special. So thank you. So with that, I promised my wife I would make this very, very short. And I promised her I'd keep it under 30 minutes. So, but just to let you know, I cut about half of it out, so that should make you feel a little bit better. But I want to talk about a defining moment. And that's it. It's just like I got to get to the defining moment. Speak up. I'm by surprise. I Googled defining moment, came up with about 150 hits, and I found one that was kind of appropriate to what I was looking for. And defining moment is the point at which a situation is clearly seen to start to change, or it's like a turning point, something like that. And so I thought, well, this could be a defining moment. Could be when Jessica and Mike first met. That could be a defining moment, and here we all are. But for Mike and I, it's a little bit different. The defining moment is like a football game. It's more like one team starts out and has the upper hand and the advantage, and then there's that defining moment, and then the other team goes and gets the momentum and the upper hand and goes on to win the game. That's kind of the defining moment that Mike's relationship and I was. Like, when Mike was growing up, he was small, I was big. I had the upper hand. I was the all-day backyard quarterback. Mike had to run all the routes that I designed. And I would occasionally let Mike be the quarterback for one or two plays, but anyhow. And also, we had the hallway in our upstairs, and I was the hall enforcer. And I would get down and I would say, try to get by me. He would do everything in his power to try to get by me. He would sperm dive everything to try to get by me. And I let him weasel his way by a couple of times just to make him think he could do it. And it went on and on like that. We did basketball games in the garage or in the driveway and ping pong and stuff like that. But I got to admit that as Mike got older, I had to go resort to some trash talk to try to eliminate it. And I also coached Mike in various games, and Jennifer. And I wanted to make sure I got into coaching, but I wanted to make sure they didn't get cut off the T-ball team. So I just want to say one thing to you folks who get into coaching. I just want to be aware that every mother and father and brother and sister, aunt and uncle, grandparents, family, friends, anybody are going to blame you if their kid does not get a full, paid, 4-year athletic scholarship at some university. Because, you know, if Lowe would have put my kid in the quarterback of flag football in 3rd grade, I wouldn't be writing out these checks at that university. But now for the defining moment. I'm walking up the stairs, and I go to the hallway, and all of a sudden Mike walks out of his room, his bedroom, and he leans up against the hallway, and he goes, try to get by me. Fun's over. Needless to say, I did not try to get by. And he didn't even block the hallway. He just leaned up against the hallway. And I worked my way back to my bedroom, and I remember him looking at me with this grin. It was like Christmas Story, those punk kids at Christmas Story. If you remember that, the boys that had like the Davy Crockett hat or something like that just you might want to hit him in the head. So after that, things changed. Mike came home for football practice. He played football for Riverside High School. And he walked up to me and says, Coach Hawkins wants you to be the coordinator, the football coordinator. And I says, oh really? I says, what's that? And he goes, well, I'll tell you what it isn't. It isn't you tell Coach Hawkins what play to put in on Friday night. I love the hook and ladder play. I love that play, where the quarterback throws it, and they button hook the receiver, and they pitch it. I still love that play. I wasn't allowed to tell him that. He said it has nothing to do with football. He says it's on the Friday night games. What it has to do is you go out and you raise money for the Friday night pre-football game deals, and you're responsible for organizing a group of guys that have to put the lines on the field. They paint the lines for the field. And I says, oh really? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, I says, well, I'll think about it. And he goes, oh, there's no thinking about it. Here's the number. You know how many lines are on a football field? A lot. 3 hours, 3.5 hours later, I'm in charge of these guys. Every Wednesday night I had to tell my boss I'm leaving work early at 3 o'clock to try to get off a personal day for 10 weeks in a row to paint these lines on the football field. But, you know, this going on and on like this for a long time. And it finally came to a head years later when Mike went to Clemson. He graduated from Clemson and went to Naval Postgraduate School. So he's going out to Monterey, and I'm going to go out to Monterey with him. So he's a federal employee, and I just like to ask you folks that, do you ever get a personal call from a federal employee during the week? Because when I do, as a taxpayer, I like to say, why aren't you working? But anyhow, we got out there and drove out to Monterey, and lo and behold, none of the furniture was there. So it was just an apartment, and I was going to spend a couple of days there with Mike, and there was just nothing. And I took a blow-up bed, and I put it in the car, because I figured Mike was going to have his bed, and I'd have the blow-up bed. Well, we get out there, and that night, Mike gets the blow-up bed out. And he blows it up and proceeds to lay down. And I'm looking at it, I have a little coat, I have a little jacket. And I decided, okay, I'm not going to say anything, because Mike did most of the driving, so I thought, okay, I'll just let it go. Well, the next night, I said, hey, let's switch. What do you think about switching? And all I got was that same look he gave me in the hallway. Where he said, and I can't remember if there's a third night or not, because, but I do know one thing. When I got home, every bone on this side of my body, from here and here and here, was in pain for about 4 days from sleeping on that floor. But I got over it. Because about 8 or 9 years later, Mike asked me to be best man at his wedding, which is a great honor. And I just want to make a point that I'm kind of the honorary best man. Because the guy who did all the really work I just had to show up. That's all I had to do. But the guy who had to do all the planning and all the work was Matt Krantz. Where's Matt?
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Matt did all the planning. Matt organized the trip, the bachelor party to Las Vegas, which I was not invited. That's okay. I'm sure that wasn't where you're going or anything like that.
Mike gave the names.
But anyhow, any one of Mike's friends could be up here tonight as best man, because for Mike, it's friends, family. But after today, it's Jessica, friends, family. Moving down a little bit on that ladder. Jessica, friends, family. Right. We're moving down the ladder here a little bit, but oh, by the way, I want you the story that I told about sleeping on the floor, just in case anything ever happens to you like that, I just want to let you know it's not you, it's it's that guy you just married. But Jessica, I couldn't be more happy than to have, after I met Jessica, and to have her move into the #1 slot, because she's just a great person, and really have enjoyed her the short time I've known her, and really looking forward to really getting to know her better. Now with that, I know that you probably are disappointed I wasn't going to end my speech tonight, but something kind of came up that was disturbing. And about a year ago, Mike calls me on Father's Day, and he says, and I can tell he's a little bit subdued. And he says, hey, I got something to tell you. He goes, yesterday I was taking apart this bed, and all of a sudden it collapsed. And it hit me, and apparently it came down and hit him in the back of the head, and almost knocked him out to the point where he was incapacitated. He couldn't stand up, he couldn't talk, he couldn't do anything for about 15 or 20 minutes. And fortunately, his roommate Joe was there and took him to the hospital where he was diagnosed as with a concussion. So he's telling me this whole story. You know, it's really disturbing because just how quick the whole thing happened. And it's on Father's Day, he's telling me this. So I wanted to give him some advice because I know Mike's going to try to prove himself to Jessica that he's just great at these home projects. and I wanted to say something like, be careful. I wanted to say something more than be careful. So I decided to try to find somebody that would give me some more advice about this subject than I had. And I found this person, and unfortunately, I was going to play something for you tonight and project it, but I couldn't because of some logistics problems like this. And so what I'm going to do is I have it over here, and I have it on the computer, so I'm just going to let Mike and Jessica see the video, but it's the message that's more important. So you'll be able to hear it, and we'll put the microphone down so you can hear it, all right?
Hey, Mike and Jessica, this is Coach Davos. It's a great day. I hope y'all are having a great day. And secondly, Mike heard through the grapevine that you decided to take apart a bed frame. With a concussion. So I've got a little bit of experience with that. Being a football coach, I have seen a lot of tough hits on the field and resulting in concussions. And it's never good. But as we all know, there's nothing more dangerous than projects. Just want to offer you a little advice. So Jessica, if you would just kind of reach into the box, take your dad in the box, and you can take out what's in the box and present that to Mike. And if you would just make sure that next time Mike decides to take out one of these dangerous, very dangerous.
I'd like to offer a toast. Please congratulate Mr. and Mrs. Mike and Jessica Love.